8:47 on the Wake Up Show with Bubba and the Romantics. Rocky 99, along with Conemaugh Health System, Somerset Hospital, and the Cambria County Drug Coalition, teamed up to fight drug addiction with our Hearts Against Heroin awareness campaign. And along with that, we have today welcoming Lauren Ballew of Mt Pleasant in. Thanks for your time, Lauren.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming in to, I'm sure, as what you do for a living, you counsel people on addiction.
Yes.
You're familiar with talking about it, no doubt, but I want to get a little background for you. How old were you when your drug abuse began?
I started in 9th grade, so I was probably about 14, 15 years old.
What was the first thing you tried and what was 9th grade?
I started with alcohol, and I showed addictive behaviors long before I started using heroin because I had no self-control when it came to any substance that I used.
Do you think that alcohol was the gateway?
Absolutely.
For you? Okay.
Yes.
I talked with someone before, and same with marijuana. I have a hard time in saying always that those things are gateways, only because I know people and myself, I can have a beer and I've never gone down the heroin path. You know what I mean? I guess it just depends on the person.
Yeah. You have those people that can pick up a drink and leave the bar after 3 drinks or 3 rounds. And then you have addicts who they have total lack of self-control when it comes to anything. And I showed that right from the start, because when I would drink, I wouldn't stop until I was blacked out or I couldn't even recognize my own self.
I guess the people just with the addictive behavior, no doubt, are going to have the more likelihood of going down a path of heroin or...
Correct. Addiction shows itself in your life in more ways than just drugs. It's behavior patterns. It's just your diseased way of thinking.
So you went from alcohol and then you were into other drugs then?
Yes. I started smoking weed, and then weed led to cocaine use, which I could say I was addicted at that point. And then eventually I ended up with a script from the doctor, and that lasted for about 7 years, and then I graduated to heroin.
A script for the doctor? Did you have an injury or? I
had back issues. I went to see a doctor who sent me to a neurosurgeon, and the neurosurgeon basically said there was nothing he could do for me. So I ended up going to a pain clinic every month, and it was a 10-minute process. I was in and out with my script. It was that easy. I got addicted to the pain pills, and then I ended up getting kicked out of the clinic because I tested positive for a different type of pain medication. And at that point, I was addicted. I was going through withdrawals when I didn't have anything. So heroin, it was easy access, and it was cheap.
At the rock bottom, you're there, and what was that point for you?
I wanted to die. I was basically walking through the shadow of death every day. I was upset because, I was hoping every shot would kill me and I would still wake up the next day. And then it got to the point, too, where I was living a double life. I hid my use for about 2 years, which is average when the family starts to kind of catch on. I lost my job for doing drug deals in the parking lot. I was tired of living. I hated having to put a substance in my body to get up and brush my teeth or shower in the morning.
Now, you told me that you have a daughter, and when you hit rock bottom, did you have your daughter at this point?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm sure that had to be a little motivating factor at some point.
Yeah, and it was hard. I don't sugarcoat stuff. Like, I couldn't even go to one of my daughter's ball games without having to use first.
You hit rock bottom and you say, I want to die. What did you do to get to recovery?
My mom reached out to me and she asked me to go to rehab because she knew what was going to happen if I didn't. So I went into a 35-day treatment facility. And then after I got out, I immediately followed up with a 12-step program, which I got highly involved in right away. I keep in touch with other addicts all day long, every day. Feelings come and go, and so do the thoughts of using. And I don't have to pick up a substance anymore. I can just pick up the phone and I can talk about it. I don't have to sit in those feelings.
I've talked to addicts before. I've had them in my own family. It seems like one reoccurring factor that everyone that has recovered says that my family didn't give up on me. Somebody always reached out or planted a seed or kept going and going. Do you agree with that?
Well, like I said, I hid my use for a long time. So when my mom did finally catch on, she was very supportive. Had I known that I was going to have that much support, I probably would have gotten help sooner, for sure.
What can you say to a parent to prevent what had happened to you with their child?
I don't think you can really prevent your child from doing anything. Ultimately, it's going to be that person's choice. I think that if I had more awareness and I was educated more, that maybe it could have prevented me from going down that path. And open lines of communication is awesome as well.
Thank you for your time, Lauren, and for the efforts along with the Cambria County Drug Coalition. We're certainly appreciative of you today. Hearts Against Heroin, presented by Conemaugh Health System and Somerset Hospital, along with Spangler Subaru, Martin Baker America, Yeager's Heating Service, First Summit Bank, and Rocky 99.
Rocky 99.